So Cycle 3, Week 1 for drawing, and I'm just going to do a quick demo. Not really go over the notes a whole lot. From Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain from Betty Edwards, I put those notes in the lesson plan link, and also notes from Mona Brooks are in there too, and there's really great information in there, and just to pick out information that's pertinent to your age class. And then also setting expectations for the drawing weeks, how you're going to handle those lessons of warm-up time and getting our minds ready to do that kind of work, and perhaps talking about quiet so that everyone can focus on their work, however you want to set up your class. Alright, so for week 1 we're going to introduce OiLS, which we've talked about before, but this sheet from Mona Brooks talks about the families, so the dot family, circle family, straight line family, curved line, and angle family. And so the dots are the same as the circle family except for they're filled in, and straight lines, then your dashes, thick or thin lines, angle, set in an angle. But angled line family specifically is when the two straight lines come together to form an angle. Curved lines, shallow curves or steep curves, and including spirals. So start off and introduce those, identify those around the room or in some of the example drawings, and then have students get their own sheets. There may be these protected sheets in the binder or just copies, and have students with the younger kids maybe even just copying one or two of these shapes over to each of these boxes so that they get time practicing, warming up. Talking, I would model those as you go through, so dot family, draw it and fill it in. With pencils, just kind of quick fill in, doesn't have to be perfectly filled in. Circle family, choose one of those, because some kids will stay with you, or some might move faster. The younger kids, I just kind of modeled that last year, and that worked out great. So you've identified that, and then move on to your before drawing. So I have, for this year, copies of some Matisse artworks that are line drawings, and some Remington. Student could choose one of these off of there, and some other Remingtons. But we also have, and there's a few other ones too, but some of the drawings that have the steps to them. They did for last year some animals. These work out really well too. And these will also be available if you'd rather use one of these. Okay, so to model, so students do the before drawing and you don't model that, just give them a few minutes to do that. I recommend half sheets of paper. I like that size for the younger kids especially, so that it's just for the time, so they don't feel that pressure to fill that bigger piece of paper. And I feel like it wastes less paper when they tend to draw small anyways. And so take that before drawing, label it perhaps, but even just having them put a 1 on the back of it or something so that you know what that is when it's in the portfolio. And then model a drawing. It could be the same one if you give them all the same drawing, and then is there before drawing, and then just walk through that step. So I'll just show you that really quick. Alright, so for this is a Picasso one, so we'll start with, I'm going to start up here at the head. So a curved line, and then a tight curve, and a very shallow, almost straight line, and then you make some curved lines here, and they come together to make angled lines because they're touching. And more shallow, kind of wavy curves, and then a shallow curve, tight curves, and make points, more curved lines. And I'm doing this quickly. You might want to move slowly so everyone can stay together. And then we're going to make this come out a little bit more, almost straight line, and then a curved line for the bottom of the body, and then a straight line on the beak, a circle for the eye, and a dot for the eyeball there that's filled in, and then a straight line up here for the stem, two curved lines that come together at angles, straight line, curved line, another straight line below, and some straight lines, an angled line here, two straight lines together, and a curved line, finish. So that's just a quick drawing of the bird. You could choose a more, if you had more older students, you could choose a more complicated drawing, but that has all those different families in it. And then if they have time, they could choose another drawing to practice to fill up that time. But I also like having half sheets of the drawing that they're copying so that they can tuck that, if they don't finish, tuck that in their portfolio to continue working on that at home and not feeling like they weren't able to finish. And that's week 1.